Episode 116. That's right, we're that far. Trev's Hockey Show. I'm the Trev. It's too sweet. Remember I was saying I had 2 books full of ideas? We're getting back to them. Actually, we're getting back to something I've been meaning to get back to for quite some time, ever since I did the last one. I'm talking, of course, about my favorite players from every NHL team for my lifetime anyway, ever since I've started watching hockey. Today, I'm tackling the last request, kind of. You'll find out in the next one. Tackling my last request. We're talking Chicago. So, come along, I'll tell you my favorite Blackhawks of all time. Brief little bit of history before I begin. The Blackhawks were known as the Blackhawks and not the Blackhawks in 1986. So not long before I started watching hockey. But the Blackhawks as an entity, Blackhawks, as a whole entity has been around since 1926. So they've been around a lot longer than you or I have even been a speck of dust in the cosmos. Just saying. In their time, they've won 6 Stanley Cups, most recently in 2015. And you're not going to find too many uncommon names on this list from those last 3 cups. But let's get started either way. In net, Ed Belfour. Why not? What's not to like about Belfour? When the guy was in Chicago, he won. He didn't win a cup in Chicago, but it's beside the point. And that goalie mask of his. Like, how could you not dig the mask? The guy was a breath of fresh air in a position that was otherwise dominated by Patrick Waugh. And there was a nice little competition between Waugh, Belfour, Hasek in the late 90s. It was an exciting time to be a fan of goalies, and it was an exciting time to be a fan of Belfour. First defenseman, Chris Jelios. Why not? The guy was in your face, rugged. He was the grit and the sandpaper you needed on the blue line. And it helped Chicago win a lot. And he won a lot of Norris trophies in Chicago. Solid 1-2 defenseman throughout his whole time there. And he was just a fun guy to watch. I mean, Chicago had an image for being a bit of a tough team, and he was a big part of why. Second defense, obviously Duncan Keith. Were for Duncan Keith, they wouldn't have even made the conference finals in 10, 13, or 15, for that matter. Like, when you needed a guy to keep the puck out, he was your guy. When you needed a guy to set the play along coming out of the blue line, he's your guy. He's not a flashy defenseman. He's not trying to make the play happen. He just sees it happen and goes with it. So he's got good vision for the ice. That's what I think I'm trying to say. First forward. And not one of the most obvious. They're coming. Don't worry. JR. Jeremy Roenick. Now, he was your mouthpiece. But he was good. No denying his talent. At all. And watching him in Chicago in the 90s, again, with Belfour, with Jelios, with Larmer, with Conroy, that whole team in the 90s, right up until about 96. Watching them come out with the grit and the attitude, and watching a guy like Roenick every night just pull something nice out of his hat, or set something up really good, or throw out the body, even antagonize Patrick Waugh in a playoff game. Fun guy to watch. Fun guy to watch. Obvious answer number 1, Patrick Kane. Obviously. The guy's won them 2 cups single-handedly. I know you don't win the cup without a team, but 2010, 2015, you always see those highlights before you see anything else. There's a reason he was picked first overall. we've seen why, and he's not even close to done yet. Like, imagine what everything's going to be said and done once he decides to hang him up. And if he stays in Chicago for the long haul, oh my goodness. They'll be incredibly happy with that, I'm sure. But what else can I say about Kane that hasn't been said? Phenomenal player. Amazing speed. Good stick handling. Fun guy to watch. And the last obvious answer. Captain Sirius. Jonathan Toews. Hey, any guy who can get a lake named after them, he better be in the list of favorites. And I mean, as much as I would say, if it weren't for Keith, if it weren't for Kane, they wouldn't win the Cup, you have to include Toews in that too. Toews was Chicago. He was the face of Chicago. And I mean, those mutton chops when they won the Cups, that's an image that just does not fade away, quietly anyway. But is it cool that he's Captain Sirius? I think it's cool because he needs to be Captain Sirius sometimes. But again, I've said this with pretty much every player on this list. Fun player to watch. He doesn't get you the 60, 70, 80 points, but it's good to have on your line. So that was my favorite Chicago Blackhawks of all time, or at least since I've started watching hockey. This is episode 116, Trev's Hockey Show. Thank you for tuning in. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture, especially if you're here. If you are here, give this video a like. If you are here and you haven't done so yet, hit that red button. Then you can stay up to date with all the content I'm putting out. All my socials, they're in the description down below. Moving forward, as far as this goes, when I said this was my last request, I lied. I have one more request. And I'm probably filming that one right after I film this one. But either way, in the meantime, and in between time, be looking for more videos from Trev. Later.